Module 7, Advanced Data Access in ASP.NET Core 6 Razor Pages, Integrating Services and Entity Framework Core into ASP.NET Core Application. In this module, we'll learn about services and dependency injection. We'll create the course services. We register the course service in program.cs. We will use these course services in the create model. We'll define the courses class. We will use also entity framework core migration. We'll understand application DB context and its role. Finally, we will have a practical assignment. So the project structure that we have is a modular approach in the Skyway project. What we mean by modular approach, if you see this page, we'll have the page folder, will have all the other pages by having different, folders under the page. For instance, for the courses, we have a folder. For the threads, we will have another folder. So all the other pages will be under the page, and all the model classes will be under the models, skyweb.models. So for now, we have this course.cs. CS is C# language. So course.cs is now placed under this skyweb.models. And also we have the service part, skyweb.service folder. All the services will be placed. For now, the course service is under this service folder, but later we will have comment services and other forum services, other services. But for now, let's focus on these core services. So modular approach in your Skyway project means by structuring your Skyway project into separate folders for pages, models, and services, we are adhering to a modular design. This organization enhances clarity, maintainability, and scalability of the application. Pages contain Razor pages and page models for UI and user interaction management clearly separate UI logic. Model houses data representation classes, isolating business logic from UI and services for easier management. Services comprises classes for business logic and data access, enhancing reusability and testing capability. The core service is to interact with the database, a service that encapsulates all data access logic related to course entities. Overall, this modular structure promotes a clean separation of concern, making each part of the application independent, manageable, and upgradable. So if you see this core service will interact with the database. The logics that interact with the database will be placed in the core services. And these core services manipulate the data structure of the model class. And these core services will be called in the Razor page and utilized by the Razor page. So you can see the interaction between the services, models, and pages. And in the meantime, you can see the separation of concern. So let's start from just for reminding, the course class, as explained, is under the skyweb.models. If you click this, core class has different properties: ID, name, and descriptions. And this course class is registered under this this course class is configured under this application DB context. How do we configure this? Public DB set courses. These courses will be the name of the the table in the database. So these properties in the course ID, name, description will be the columns of the table in the database. So that is why this application DB context is the interface between the application and the database. It maps the application object to the database object. So let's focus on now the service. So under this skyware, those services, I have already created course services, but you know how to create this. Just right. This is just a class. Just right click on this skyware, those services when you want to create a class. When you right click, you see this add, then click the class and give any name. Class, for instance, here I give course services.cs so that you can give whatever name you want, but that is already created. So in this page, the first thing that we will see is, now, as I explained, this is the interface between the application and the database. And also this application DB context is the one that we use to interact with the database. Yeah, so we are using this application DB context as a database. That means we have to have a way, to use and interact this database. So the first thing that we have to do is that we have to create this private read-only application DB context, property under this course service class. And once we have this, we can, eject the application DB context services in the constructor course services. So you may ask, where is this application DB context, configured as a service? Because here it is just a class. But now we are using this application DB context as a service. So what we have done is that we registered the application DB context in the program file, in the program.cs file. So if you see this line of code, if you remember builder, this builder object is created from this host, web application.create builder with the parameter argus. From this, we created this builder. So this builder has, methods and services on top of that. So this builder object had this configuration, get connection string. This get connection string method is telling for the application, get this connection string name, skyware database. Once we get, from where do we get this connection string? Connection string, as we have discussed before, is placed in the app setting. So if you go to in the app setting, the name of the connection string is skyware. So now we get the skyware database, the connection string name. And once we get that connection string, and again, it is telling builder.services builder.services add DB context application DB context option use SQL Server connection string. The connection string that we have set here will be used here. So we are using use SQL Server. So we are using SQL Server, and we have the connection string, and we are telling this is the DB context class that we will use. So we are getting connection string from the configuration here, from this configuration. And then we register the application DB context as a service. So this application DB context is now, configured as a service. And we configure DB context to use SQL Server. This is why we say use SQL Server. We use connection string for SQL Server database. Okay, here we are using this connection string in this line of code because we found this connection string from builder.configuration get connection string from this section, from this name, SkyWeb. So this get connection string is from the app setting part, that will be found. So once we have, do that, we are telling that enable dependency injection of application DB context. Now, this is where we are, creating this. So this is where we can, eject this application DB context as a service, So enables dependency injection of application DB context. So manage database interaction via DB context. If you see this add DB context, it is instructing that the class that will interact with the database is this application DB context. So we manage database interactions through this application DB context class using this DB context. So, and support CRUD operation or entities. So due to this two line of code, now we can, eject the application DB context, in courses class. So just to summarize, using this builder object configuration, get connection string. The connection string name is the SkyWeb database. Now we get this connection string. We store what we get from this in this variable connection string. And once we have this connection string, we will use this connection string at this line. But before that, this builder object also have the services, and add DB context. Add DB context will take this application DB context type of class. So, and we are also, clearly instructing that we are using SQL Server with this connection string. So this notes is also, left here. You can refer later. So let me go to the courses, the course services page. So here, what we are doing is we first create this application DB context, and this application DB context is private read-only property. And at the constructor level, actually, the dependency injection is happening at this level. Now we are using application DB context class. The one that we set in the program file will be ejected at this level. But the problem with this ejection is this should happen again and again when there is an instance. So this context will be recreated at each instance. It will not stay till the life cycle of these course services. So we have to have a way to have, to maintain this context, till this life cycle of this course service, is operating. So we have this private read-only application DB context underscore context, property. So this property will stay till the life cycle of this class. So what we do is that we will eject this service, the context service, to this underscore context. Now underscore context can stay till the life cycle of these courses. So this is very important to understand. Now, once we have the database, okay, the means to interact with the database, this underscore context is the means to interact with the database. Now, we have to also, create the different methods. Okay, one of the method is get all courses from the database. How to get all the courses from the database? The database is underscore context. Okay, underscore context. The table in the database is courses. Then just change to lists. That means to all courses, list of courses. So now this is the other is just method decoration. So public async, this is async method. Task type of list courses, because all the courses, and get all courses async, because async method. Return await, this await is associated with this async underscore context dot courses dot to list async. And now we have to get the courses by ID. Okay, the courses by ID async. This ID will come from the the web or from the form from the user, and based on this ID that we get from the form, we will evaluate the ID from the database. If the two ID are equal, now we will get the courses. So underscore course dot underscore context dot courses first or default async c such that c dot id equal id. So we return the course based on the id. Now we also have to add new course to the database. So to add new course, we have to have this course object as a parameter. What do you mean by course object? This course class is an object. So it has the property, it has the name, and it has the description. So when we are providing this course object as a parameter, we are providing everything, the object. So public async task add course. So this object will be a parameter. First, we have to try this. We try to add underscore context courses add course. Then if it adds, we will save it. We make it persistent. Await underscore context dot save changes async. Otherwise, if there is an error, we will capture that error. Updates an existing course in the database. So update the existing. We may want to update the name or the description. Public async task update course async. It takes also the course object as a parameter. Underscore context dot courses dot update. So under this course, under this courses table, we have this add method, we have this update method, and also we have this remove methods. So underscore context dot courses dot update, what to update object course. Once we update, we have to, save it, underscore context dot save changes as sync. Now we have to also delete when we want, but the deletion should be based on the ID that we get from the user from the form. So await underscore context dot courses find async. The first thing is find underscore context dot courses find async ID based on this ID, find a course. Once you find the course, create this course variable and store it in the course variable. If this course variable is not null, then context course, as I said, it has remove method, remove that course based on the ID. Once you remove, it should persist. It should wait underscore context, those save changes, it should be saved. So before I conclude this course service part, let me share some key pointers about the async and await in C#. So essential concepts of async and await in C#, because we have seen, this async, await, async, await words. So we have to understand what does that mean? What does that method? So in an async method, if there is no specific return, like this one, to return the method in an async method, if there is no specific result to return, the method returns a task. So here it returns a task. If the method returns a value, the return type is task of T, where T is the type of the result. So if you see somewhere here, so this is async task of course. So this method gets the courses by ID and it returns, and the type is the course type. So this is task of T. And the other point that you should keep in your mind, async indicates that the method can perform asynchronous operation. Await indicates it pauses the method execution until the awaited task complete without blocking the main thread. The async keyword is used to declare a method that contains asynchronous operations. When a method is marked with async, it allows the use of the await keyword within the method. The await keyword is to pause the execution of the method until the await asynchronous operation completes. So now you understand what this, method signatures are. So public async, task delete course async, there is no return type, just it removes and it saves, it persists in the database table. Here also, it will not return, just it will update the tables in the database. Here, we add courses in the table. Once we add in the table, it will persist because we save it. Here, we will get the course by ID, and we return this task of course type. So public async task of course type, return await context.course first or default async. This is link a query. C such as c.id equally call ID as we briefed before. Now I'm focusing on the async await part. So now everything is clear on this course service part. Now, this course service is ready to be used, but one step is left. This course service need to be registered in the program.cs file. So we have to register this, you know, uh, course service class in the program.cs part to inject that in the different, page models under the courses. I will come to this one. So we have different, page models and result page under this page. But for now, we have the courses, the courses under these courses, we have created, different pages, create, delete, edit, index. To use this, to use these course services, the one that we have developed in the course services, to call the methods. You remember in the previous module, we have learned how to call, methods in other pages or in page models. Now we will call these course models in the different pages that are found under this courses folder. But before that, before we call this course service class should be registered in the program.cs file. What does this registration do? By registering course services as a scope service, it tells the dependency injection system to provide an instance of course services where it is requested within the application. This registration is crucial for the dependency injection system to work correctly and to avoid errors, and which is service cannot be resolved, error will be thrown. If this course is not properly registered in this page, this service cannot be resolved, error will be thrown. I will demonstrate you that part. However, the important part is before we use the these course services, it should be registered in program.cs file. So what is this scoped service? A scoped service in ASP.NET Core is created a new instance for each HTTP request, ensuring that a unique instance is used per request across its components. This design helps us maintain data consistency within a request. So consider a shopping application with a shop cart service. When a user adds an item to their cart on the cart model page, they interact with a unique instance of the service for the request. So this approach ensures accurate tracking of additions to the shopping cart during the session. Key point, a scoped service ensures that data consistency by providing a single request-specific instance. It isolates user session, meaning simultaneous requests from different users do not interfere within each other, maintaining independent session data. So if someone creates a course in our application, and if another person also creates a course in the same application at the same time, the session data will be maintained independently. There will not be interference with each other. So the sessions will be isolated. So simultaneous requests from different users will not interfere with each other. So builder object has a service as we described before. Builder does services, and this service has this add scoped, and we just registered our course service as a scope service. So this is very important. So if you don't register your service, we will see what will happen. After we try to use this service. But let me go to the page. So for now we have this courses folder, but later we will have a forum folder and trade folder. We'll have different folders under this page. For now, let's focus on these courses. These courses will have a create page, a delete page, edit page, and index page. Let's start from this create page. The first thing that we have to do is, we have to create this private read-only courses underscore courses, property. This property will be persistent across the life cycle of this create module class. And the real dependency injection will be performed at constructor level. The constructor of this create model class is create model. Always we use public create model, and we will eject this course service at this level. But at this level, when we eject, every time when there is an instance, it will be recreated. So it will not be persistence across, it will not remain till the life cycle of this create model. So what we have done is we created this private read-only, underscore courses property, and we assign this ejected service to this underscore courses property. Now we can use this. We can use this underscore courses services. So this underscore courses services is now from the course services. But if you don't properly register this course services, the course services, it is a class. But if this class is not properly registered in the program.cs file, it will not be accessible for this page module. Let us see. Now we have this underscore courses for a time being. Just let's focus on this constructor or this on post method. Let us comment out this. Let's comment out this part and run the application so that you can see the importance of registering, a class as a service in the program.cs file. So now, if you try to click this create course, you will find this. This is invalid operation, unable to resolve service of type skyweb. Those services, course services, while attempting to activate skyweb.page.courses create So what it is trying to say is, I'm trying to use this course services in this create model. However, I am, having this exception. So this exception is, it is an exception generated when you don't properly register, the class. So let us uncomment this part. Let me run it again. Now it is available. Now all what we have in the courses service is available. I will describe it in detail. That is, how that is working. So let me go to the create.cs html.cs page. So now we have ejected the course service, we have properly registered, and we have properly ejected, and we have assigned that ejected service for the underscore service. Now we can interact with the database and we can use these underscore services. Before that, we have to create these course properties with binding property. The bind property with the bind property is to bind data from the form, data that we receive from the user from the form with the object, with the class. This bind property automatically will bind the data from the form with the object. So this, whatever we store at this is, automatically will bound with the object with the object from the form. So now let's see this on post method. Public iAction result on post method if the model state is valid, model state dot is valid. If this is not valid, then it will have this error. So we have this variable errors, which is found from the model state, the value, whatever value we have, select many these such that v dot errors. Now we store this error in the errors variables. So for each errors, we create we created again a variable called error. So we will debug.writeLine error message. We will find the error message, and we will return the page. We will stay on the page that shows validation error. This is only if there is error. But if there is no error, we will try to perform the following. So we use this underscore course services. The first thing that we will do is add course async, the course that we have here, okay? The course that we receive from the form to be bounded with the object course, okay? And dot await. This await asynchronously for asynchronous operation to complete. We have already described that. So once we have done that, redirect to the index page upon successful addition, because we want to display whatever we have added in the index page. If there is error, we can capture the application exception error. What we do, model state dot add model error. Whatever we have, the error message will be here, and then we will return the page if there is exception, and also we will capture the exception. Please try to again later. But this is the part that you should focus. Forget about this exception part and this part. But the important thing is assume everything is in smooth scenario. The thing that we have to do is that we use this underscore course services dot add course async course dot wait. And then once we add that, return redirect to page, to the root of this index. So you may ask, from where did we get this add course services? If you remember, we have done that in the course services. But to navigate and check, right click on the method and go to definition. Then it will take you to the definition of this method. So the definition of this method is all about adding course object to the database. So that is the create.cs, html.cs. So this is the model page. Let's see the result page, the UI part. So what we do here, you know what is at page, at model, you know what is this at view data. This is the header, create course that will be displayed. So here we have a method post, you know, about this HTML and Bootstrap classes. So label ASP4, the label is the name, input ASP4, course name. So that the one thing I want to explain here is span ASP validation for course. This ASP validation for is this is ASP.NET Core Tag Helper to display validation error message of the field, in this case for the name. In the same way, here also we can display any error for the description. Once we have done this, there is a button, we'll submit. And once we submit, we can see what we have done. So let us see. So if you go to this create courses page, this create courses page, now you can see this create course. You can create new course and the description for new courses. So now this new courses, there is always a need to update. There is always a need to update. So that update page is the edit page. The edit page. In the edit page, what we do, we just create this private read-only courses course service underscore course service. We inject this course service at this level of the constructor edit model. As we said, the course service, which is a private read-only property, will stay till the life cycle of this class, edit model class. So what we do is that we will assign these course services to this underscore course services, because this underscore course services will stay till the life cycle of the edit model class. So we can use this underscore course services throughout the life cycle of this edit model. So the same way we create public courses, and we decorate that with bind property, and this helps us to bind form input to the course object. Public async task action result. Now we have something to return on get async method based on the ID. So the first thing what we do is that go to the database, which is represented by underscore course services dot get course by ID async based on the ID. When you get something, store it in the course. What is that course? We already created this. So whatever we get will be stored in this course. If course is null, then we will redirect to page, which is to the root of the index, because that is what we display. If this course has something, we return to the page, return the current page with the course data loaded. So in the on post async, public async task, action result, here also we have something to return. If the model state is not valid, that means not model state is valid, return the page, return the current page if validation fails. What about if validation is okay? If validation is okay, go to the database, I mean the service that we are using to interact with the database, await underscore course services dot get course by ID async the course dot ID. Okay. Once we get this course based on this ID, we will store in this variable course in database. Once we find this course in database based on this ID, we'll check it. Is course in DB not null? Oh, there is something. If there is something, what we do, we will assign the name that we get from the UI to the database name. So the database name will be updated. In the same way, we will update the database description based on the input that we get from the UI, from the description that we get from the UI or from the user will be used to update the database. So course in db.course description will be updated from course.description. Once we have done that, we have to do await underscore course services, update course async, and course in DB. We will save everything. We'll save everything in the database so that it can persist. So if this is failing, then no course with ID is found. If everything is fine, once we update the database, we return redirect to page. Now let's see the UI, the edit UI. So edit or update is based on ID. So it is specified, so it is specific to ID. What do we mean? We cannot edit, or update without the ID, without knowing the ID. So we have to have, ID of type int in the route. So the page is associated with ID int, which is route. So this is specified a route constraint that expects an integer ID. So now we know how to declare the model. Our model is edit model. Okay. And now let's go to this directly to this form. I mean, if we have, we will check it. If model.course is not null, because we have the model and we have the course, okay, we know the course. If you go here, your course here. So your course, have something from this line of code and it stores. So if this course is here, so if the model.course is not null, what do we do? We use this post method. So one important point, we put this course.id as a hidden field to maintain, in this page, because whatever we did in this page should be associated with the course ID. So input type equal hidden. So we have to maintain ASP4 equal course ID. So the ID should be maintained as a hidden field for storing. So this is the hidden field for storing the course ID. So once we do, we have this label course name. We have this input ASP4 course.name, and also the same for the course description. Once we do that, we will, have button type submit class btn primarily of the course, and btn will submit. So let us see the practical operation. As we said, if you go to if you go to the edit page, simply like courses/create, you can go to this create page. But if you try to go to courses/edit, you will find error because the edit part should be associated with something, say 32. So 32 is the course ID for this one. So now let us see, the ID is, you can see the ID. And if you want to, for instance, edit for 29, you have to associate it with 29. Whatever the case, you have to, you have to navigate to the proper page with the proper ID of the course. So if you want to edit this, let us see C# under edit. I want to change this name like this one under edit. Okay, update the course. So now you can see C# under edit, test under edit. So let me summarize the edit. The only difference in the difference in the edit page is the route should be associated with ID because edit should be done based on the ID. If we try to go to directly to the edit page like we have done for the create page, for instance, we can go to the create page directly, but we cannot go to the edit page directly because edit should be associated, edit should be associated with something. So edit, for instance, one of the course in our edit has something 29. You can go there and you can edit. Now let's go to the delete page. So for the delete, so delete is to remove whatever we have in the database or in the page. So the same way we create this private read-only courses service underscore course, and we reject the dependency injection as the constructor label. This is the class. The class is public class delete model. So we'll take this name of the class as a constructor, public delete model, course service, and then we will assign this course service for this private read-only property so that we can use throughout the life cycle of this class. So let us see, we also have to create this course property to hold the course to be deleted. The first thing we have to do is store the course that need to be deleted. So this on gets async method will find out the course to be deleted based on the ID. So what we do, underscore course services get course by ID, async ID, await. So await underscore course service get course by ID async, that takes the parameter of ID. Based on the ID, whatever we get, we can store here. So now we have the course to be deleted based on the ID. If course is null, we provide a message, no course available. So, and then we return this page, okay? Return the page, continue to the deletion confirmation page if the course exists. So the page will be returned. Now we have this on post async, this method called when the form is submitted through a post request. So the same way, the first thing that we have to do is we have to find out the course and store in this variable course to delete variable. So what await underscore course service dot get course by ID async ID, which ID we receive from the user. Okay, then store that in course to delete. If this course to delete is not null, what we do, await underscore course service dot delete course async based on the ID. Now we will remove the from the database. So if we want to check this delete course async, you can go to this page. So you can go to this delete course async method, and this delete async method has used, this context, the context that we have injected at this level and assigned at this level of the private property. That is why when we use this courses class, the context also is available for us. So we removed that one. We delete the course. Delete course method will be called at this time, at this level. Else, the course was not found. So once we do that, redirect to the page after deletion. The delete result page, like the edit result page, also is associated with a specific ID. See, the route should be associated with the ID. So the ID in route parameter ensure the page is specific to the course with the given ID. So first check model.course. If not null, if there is something, we can use this post method for method called post. Now, the first thing we have to create before we delete is there should be this hidden ID in this page. The ID should be, kept as a hidden property in this page. So input type equal hidden name ID. The value is found from @model.course.id. So this course is the one that we created at this level, if you remember. Okay, at this level. So the course that we found at this level has an associated ID. So what we do, we have to give a confirmation, delete button with a confirmation dialog should be associated. Button type submit, the class is btn danger, but now we will have a JavaScript, method on click return confirm. Okay, are you sure you want to delete this course? If they confirm delete. So this is the unique thing in this, the hidden field, this ID associated with this specific page, and also this on-click return confirm message associated from this JavaScript method. So let's do a quick demonstration. It is under the courses, under the courses folder, and then create. We can call directly, but we cannot directly call delete. But if we associate something with, say, 1 or 32, now we get this. So are you sure you want to delete ASP.NET Core 1 to 3? Yes, I want to delete it. Yes, that has gone. Let's try this one more time. 29. Now 29 is gone. 29 is gone. So this is what we see in the UI part. So let us see in the database part. In the database part, if you go to the table name is courses, right click and select top 1,000 rows. It will display whatever you have under this page. So let us create and delete. For instance, let us delete this new course description and let us see what will happen. New course, delete. It's gone. Okay, let's now from this one, it is gone, but let us see in the database. Execute again, that has gone. So this 79 C test, C# test, let us update that one. C# test, this has no description. Let us edit. Now we provide description. Now we provide description. Let us go to the database. Yes, now we provide description. Now let's search some courses from this one, directly creating. Okay. Push some data to DB. Okay, we are testing. So push some data to DB, we are testing. Now, if you go to the database and execute this query, push some data. So the database is properly accepting whatever we add, whatever we update, whatever we delete. And our UI is properly displaying whatever we have. So let us see this this index course. Let us investigate and understand the code behind for this index page. So for the index page, we have to create also this private read-only property for courses, course service underscore course. And we have to eject this course services at this constructor label. The constructor is index model because the class is index model. And we have to assign this course, one that we ejected at this level, for the underscore course service. And we have to have this list, the course type property, public list type of course, courses. So this list property, this list of course property is very important because we'll display every course in this page. So that is why these courses will be, lists of courses property. So on the onGet method, what we do, we will go to these course services and we call the get all course async method. Okay, once we call that, we store whatever we get in the courses. Okay, we store whatever. So we load all course from the database using the course services. So at this level, we have everything from the database. So if you see this get all course async method, you can. So what this get all course async method, it will take type of task, type of list courses, and then it will go to the database and go to this courses table, and then change everything to list async, and it will return and it will hold. So we called this get all course async method at this level, at this index page model, index model. So let us see this part. Now, this part need to display it will display the ID, the name, the description, and there are associated actions. These associated actions are either edit or delete. So for each course, the one that we get, the first thing is we have to find the model, and the model contains list of courses. You may remember this, we created this list of courses at this level, and we stored everything in this courses variable, in this courses property. Okay, so this course property holds the list of courses. So at this level, when you say model those courses, you have list of courses, but you have to have a variable to hold one by one. So you create in the same line var course in model those courses from this list of courses, and in one of the course will have an ID course.id, course.name, course.description, and there are additional actions. These additional actions are the edit and the delete. And this ASP page, this is anchor tag, ASP page, course edit, this is the location of the page, ASP route ID, this is, to find the ID from the course, from this course, okay, from the course that we displayed for the ID, the name, the description, at course.id. So now we get the ID. Okay, now we are good. We identified the ID at this level. And at this level, a anchor tag, ASP page, course, delete. Now also this is the location of the page, ASP route ID at course.id, class BTN, BTN danger, BTN, 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 SM. You understand this, bootstrap class. Let's focus on this at course.id. Now we got this ID. But for this, for the edit, we only get the ID. But for the delete, we need additional, functions. That function on click return confirm equal, then this message will come. Are you sure you want to delete this course? If they confirm, it will be deleted. If they confirm means what will happen? If they confirm in the delete, you remember this will happen. Delete course. If they confirm, what will happen? If they confirm, this delete course method will be applied. So this is what this index.cshtml and index.cshtml.cs or index model and index result page will do. That is, so this will happen for each. So for each model, this will happen. The ID, the name, the description with this associated action will be displayed. So if you see this page, this is what happened. The ID is displayed, the name is displayed, the description is displayed, the associated action is edit, delete. So they are displayed. So for edit, it will not ask, it will just display whatever you want. Change to demonstrate. Okay. So change to demonstrate. But for delete, there will be, are you sure you want to delete this message? Are you sure you want to delete delete change to demonstrate? This message will be triggered with the specific course with the ID. So let me do it again. If you see, this is the ID of the course name, ASP.NET Core. So with this message, everything is clear. So this course ID is pulled from the hidden field. And it also is associated with delete and edit action. So whatever we do in this will be, reflected in the database. Thank you very much for attending. See you in the next session.